the problem I see very often is not so much like I'm not trying to tell you to do it right. Yeah, I'm not trying to kind of intervene so much. Does that make sense? That's why I'm not giving rules. If I was saying like dua should be like this and not like this, then I would say please start doing these 5 du'as from tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I'd say to do. I would say that there's a right way of doing dua and you're all doing it wrong and you need to change and start doing it like this. But in all honesty, because your point's so true, Imran, that's why I don't say that. Yeah, because dua is yours. It's not mine. Like, it's not actually for me to tell you how to do dua. But one of the biggest problems I see, definitely with Muslims, is that there's a lot of what I call unconscious energy around dua. Yeah. So like, as in, instead of actually getting the benefits that we're meant to, we under manifest, we underachieve. And that's what I think is a bit sad. Because very often people are kind of, the reason a lot of people prefer generic du'as is because it means you don't know directly how that shows up all the time. Yeah. So now you might be making dua for something which is long term, and there'll be different ways which it shows up. Again, that's a personal thing as well. But when somebody can actually identify what they're making dua for, yeah, which is where the resistance comes. So when I say, what do you make dua for? We're like, that's what happens. Yeah. Now, as opposed to going, I think it would just be better if there was a nice amount of clarity there. Because dua is emotional, and it's deep, and it's your personal experience. But at the same time, it's also super powerful. I think what sometimes is underestimated is the result. It's like how the dua shows up, how the dua shifts your reality, how the dua changes your life. And I think this is why I think awareness is important. Because once you're able to write down, today I made dua for X, then you can also say that today X manifested in my life. And the relation between making the dua and the dua manifesting is sometimes a bit vague. Like, we know du'as are accepted, but it's a bit like, kind of, like, yeah, I'm not quite sure how it came up, but it definitely got accepted. Because we all believe all our du'as get accepted. So we like, yeah, all my du'as get accepted. And then we make up funny reasons of how they even got accepted. But I don't think all of this unconscious energy needs to be there. Does that make sense? I think you can just get rid of that and say, this is my du'as and this is how Allah shows up in my life. And the more you do that, the more you practice, the more you get in touch with that, within a few days, within a few weeks, you'll be just aware of, because we have guidelines for making du'as. Yeah, and we also have guidelines of how Allah accepts dua. So the Prophet ﷺ says that make dua, don't be hasty, don't get ungrateful, keep going, and all this kind of stuff. These are the guidelines. Now these guidelines teach us how to make dua. What I want is, instead of learning from rules, instead of learning from guidelines, we're actually able to learn from the experience. So you raise your hands and you say, I need this, or this is what I want to show up in my reality. This is what I want to show up. It's not, I don't have it at the moment, but I kind of want this to I want to go in this direction. And when you've got the action with the dua, then I think on a daily basis, you can see the dua manifesting. As opposed to like on a monthly or bi-monthly or 6-monthly or yearly basis. And that's why I say make a daily list. So what dua do you make every day? What do you focus your energy towards every day? It might just be one thing. You might only want to make dua for one thing. But then once you're aware of that, then the action plan kind of comes together a bit more. And the actual, because I think we underestimate the power of dua. That's why the title of the course is, I think, Unlocking the Power of Dua. Because we know dua is there, we know Allah is there, but the belief system is a bit weak sometimes. And I think the quickest way to strengthen your belief system about du'as getting accepted is to get your du'as accepted. Does that make sense?
That's so true. That's so true, Imam Hamid. Jazakallah. That's so true.
Ah, barakallah. Uh, to be honest, personally, I didn't think I was making sense to myself, but I'm glad you understood it.
Yeah,